Well, this next segment is brought to us from our friends at Davis Roofing, and as you know, every afternoon it seems like there are thunderstorms, and we want to tell you what you can do about some of these companies that may be coming to you trying to take advantage of you. Here from Davis Roofing is Kevin Mayfield. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Megan. Appreciate it.
Well, Davis Roofing, y'all have been in this business for a long time. Tell us
Since 1969. We've been in business since 1969. Family-owned business throughout the whole time period. So we've seen a lot of folks come and go in the market over the years, and I've seen a lot of people come in and take advantage of folks too, especially with all the severe weather we have in this area.
And it's like, you know, sometimes you watch these, you know, crazy wild videos of the storm chasers and they're chasing the tornadoes and trying to get this cool video, but in your line of work is people that are trying to take advantage of people.
We do. We have what's called storm chasers in the severe weather market, and what they do is they watch the weather, just like a lot of other people do, but then when they see a major hail event, they'll pack up their equipment, they'll travel into that state, and then they'll start soliciting for business from local homeowners.
And how can people know this is not a good person, and this is because you hear the hail damage, oh, I got to get it, you know, fixed. What are some things people can be on the lookout for?
Well, there's a handful of things that people really need to do. Number one, they need to verify that they are licensed to do business in the state of South Carolina. Whether or not they're licensed in another state really doesn't matter. They need to be licensed in South Carolina.
Okay.
They need to be insured. Those are the two of the biggest things that people don't realize are so important, because if they're not insured and there's an issue, that falls back on the homeowner.
The homeowner is going to be responsible for everything.
Absolutely. Number three, they need to check with the Better Business Bureau, see if there's any information on that company, because a lot of people will come into a market, set up a temporary name, get a temporary office, and then they'll go out and start soliciting business. So checking with the Better Business Bureau is another great way to do it. And then lastly, references.
Right.
Local references. And then when the people get the references, they need to call them and say, hey, I understand they did a job for you. Can you tell me how the job went? Were you satisfied? And we always encourage people to do that.
I mean, but word of mouth too, you know, like you said, and someone that's been in the business like Davis Roofing, as long as you know, you wouldn't be in the business this long if you weren't a good company.
That's right. I mean, we've been around for a long time, and unfortunately when people come in storm chasing, they come in, the first thing they want is money up front.
Right.
Never give anybody any money up front. For us, we always require payment after the job is completed, 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Oh, wow.
And then on top of that, we also offer long-term workmanship warranties, and that's in addition to manufacturer's warranties, 15 years, no questions asked. When you get a lot of storm chasers come in, they'll do the work, get the money, they'll do it cheap, and they'll say, they'll promise you the moon, and they'll get some of your money, and then they'll take off. So in 2 to 3 years, you could have a leak. What do you do?
Because, and here's the thing too, like I'm sure it frightens people so much, being like, oh my gosh, I got to get a new roof. But what can happen, and how much more expensive if you just let it go, and then one day you're sitting there with a really big mess? Well,
what happens is a lot of insurance companies have a time restraint.
Right.
If you don't call within a certain time period, depends on who your insurance is. After so long, they'll say, I'm sorry, it's been too long. Because what happens is after there's hail damage to a roof, over a prolonged period of time, the shingle deteriorates, and then the insurance calls that a mechanical failure because the shingle itself has gone into a failure state. At that point, insurance companies won't do anything, and then the burden's on the homeowner.
Gosh, and what a pain that would be,
too.
I can just only imagine. So kind of walk us through, so, you know, say there is a storm and unfortunately something may happen to your roof, or you just want to take the precautions. How do they need to get in touch with Davis Roofing, and you kind of come out and look, kind of run us through that process?
Well, all estimates are free. Okay. We've got local numbers that are in Spartanburg, Greenville, Anderson. We also have an 800 number that's available. The easiest thing for people to do would be to go to our website.
Right.
It's www.davisroofinggroup.com.
Great.
On that website, there's also links to South Carolina Department of Labor licensing regulation, so they can have that access to that information to look at licensing information. Also, there's a link there for Better Business Bureau, where they can go there as well and get information on that in addition to any other information they may need.
Well, I think one thing that's so important that people really want when they're looking for business is just good, honest people that do a good deal. And I've got an opportunity to get to know y'all, and that's definitely what Davis Roofing is.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
So thank you for coming on the show. Again, that's davisroofinggroup.com. It's on the website. It'll be posted on our website shortly in case you missed the segment. Kevin, thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
So much. So some great tips, especially with all these thunderstorms that have been rolling through. Jack and Kimberly, back to you.